Welcome to Rockline on MTV, where you get to talk to your favorite artists live. Our toll-free number is 1-800-344-ROCK, and that's 344-7625. Our guest today in the studio is Slash. Hi, Slash.
Hi.
Welcome to Rockline.
Hi.
You just got a new snake?
Yeah, we just got her, and she's huge, and she's pregnant, and so that's why I brought it up.
She's 206 pounds?
260.
What? How long is this snake?
She's like 17 feet long. I don't know, we haven't really stretched her out and
How did you weigh her?
It's
a long scale.
The guy who I bought her from said she was 260 pounds, and I wasn't even there. One of the guys that works for us found her in some place in Redondo Beach or Hermosa Beach or something like that, and he calls me up and he tells me about it. It's an anaconda, and I was like, check the snake out. So he did, and he gave me all the information.
I hate to be ignorant, but don't snakes lay eggs or something?
No, she doesn't.
They actually give birth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Will you be there when she has the baby?
I don't know.
Standing by?
It's not one of those things like where, like it's going to happen on a particular day.
She doesn't have a due date?
No one clocked it in at the first month.
Well, you're on a tour break, and there's a lot that has been going on with the tour, with the upcoming, the next leg, and then over your summertime plans, I'm sure we'll get to. And we have a whole lot of calls, so we're going to jump right into it. And our first phone call comes from Fort Wayne, Indiana. We have Star starting off the show today. Hi, Star. What's your question?
Hi, I was just wondering, I wanted to tell Slash I love him a lot, and I was wondering, how does he feel about touring now compared to the last two tours?
The last two tours, what do you mean? Because we have different legs, so it's hard to tell what you mean by last two tours.
Well, how has life on the road for Guns N' Roses evolved?
Well, it's nice that we're headlining now. It's not like we're an opening band and we're sort of at the mercy of the headlining band. So we sort of like have our own rules, and we just travel around from city to city and take that with us.
Give me an example of some of the rules.
Well, we go on late.
Yeah, you go on late. What is that all about?
It's just because we're a club band, and we've never had to. We've always gone on like at 11 o'clock or midnight. And that's where we come from. So, as an opening band, you had to cater to the headlining band and go on their schedule. But once we were on our own schedule, it's like we didn't really want to have to listen to the promoters per se. And we just thought it was cool to go on late at night because it was cooler,
And you don't get in trouble with the unions?
Oh, we got in. Well, the unions don't care because they get paid at double time for it, so they're happy. The unions love us. But the promoters got pissed off, and some of the crowd, I think, was a little ticked off because they weren't used to it. They're used to bands going on at 9 o'clock.
In the Rolling Stone article that just came out about Axl, it kind of seemed like it was because of him that the shows went on so late. Is that okay with you? That was okay?
It's, we just kick back in the dressing room, and like we have these monitors, we have these cameras that shoot the crowd, so we watch different people in the crowd and stuff.
So if you're at a Guns N' Roses show and they're late, they're watching you. Yeah, you're on.
And so we kick back in the dressing room, have a couple drinks or whatever, and watch what's going on, and just basically get into the frame of mind where you want to go up and play for 3 hours. And it's like, it's not a job, so
it's an adventure.
I think we're coming from a whole different mentality than the business is, and so it did have its repercussions, and so we sort of like tried to adapt, try and find some middle ground.
Thank you very much, Star, and we'll go over...
Spelled S-T-A-R-R, I'm sure, right?
S-T-R-R, yeah, as in Ringo, I guess. Is that right? Yeah. We'll go to West Hempstead, New York, where Chris is on the line. Hey, Chris, what's up?
Hello. Guns N' Roses, best band, rock and roll band ever will and be. Slash, like the greatest guitarist ever. I love Guns N' Roses. And my question was, what's the next video you guys plan to release, and how many do you plan on to release altogether?
Well, we're on a break right now. We're shooting November Rain, right? And then we've got a few more, but I'm not going to give away any secrets.
And you're going to be
there's going to be a few more of them.
Sorry. You're going to be in a Michael Jackson video?
Yeah, I'm going to do a song called "Give In to Me" that I played on. That's on that record, and played leads on and stuff. So it's like the Michael Jackson highlight for me.
So you finally got to meet Michael, I guess.
Yeah, he was great. I know a lot of people have, because he's such a celebrity, a lot of people have, they think different things about what he is as a person, but as far as I was concerned, he was just real sweet, and he worked real hard, and he was real down to earth, so we had a great time, so that's why we're going to go in and do something else and, finish the whole project out that we started on. So I had a great time.
Well, that'll be something to look forward to.
I don't think
Thanks,
it's going to
Chris.
be any kind of an Egyptian, kind of thing.
Well, you never know. He might have you in a little sort of outfit.
I seriously doubt it.
Let's go to Riverside, California, kind of a local call for us, where Matt is waiting on the line. Hey, Matt, what's your question?
Is this our drummer, Matt?
I want to say first, Slash, you are the most amazing guitarist.
Thank you.
And and I play guitar, and you're such a big inspiration.
Oh,
And my question is about the punk EP you guys have been talking about.
yeah.
And I would like to know if you know when it's coming out and the songs that are going to be on it.
I don't want to get into it because it's sort of detailed when it comes to releasing stuff as a band. For us, it's like you sort of keep everything under your hat, because when you go straight out and start talking about things you're planning on doing, it makes it a little bit more complicated with the other people that you have to work with, as far as the record company and your managers and stuff. So we keep that stuff pretty cool.
Why did you go ahead and do the punk EP? I know, for instance, you did a Dead Boys song.
We recorded a bunch of stuff, and it was just songs that everybody in the band dug. Like everybody sort of picked a song they wanted to do, and when we were doing Illusions, we recorded the whole thing basically in one day.
The whole EP?
Yeah, and so
as many of those albums, I'm sure, were.
Well, yeah, exactly. It was all done live, and it was just really cool. So we want to release it, but at the same time, we're still touring on Illusions, which was a huge project for us, and really one of those kind of things. I don't think anybody can understand what we went through to do it, and so we're gonna ride that out and tour on it until it's like officially over. And then we'll start worrying about releasing other stuff.
What comes next? Quick question before we jump into the many phone calls that we have. When you went and saw the Cults and you thought, okay, Matt will be a great drummer, what was Ian Astbury and Billy Duffy of the Cults' reaction?
Actually, I just ran into them like 2 days ago. They were really cool about it because, of course, I called Matt on the sly. I didn't call Ian and say, "Can I steal your drummer?" But I called Matt and said, "Well, do you want to do the album?" I didn't really tell him I wanted to steal him for the whole tour and everything. So he was like, "Well, the Cult's off the tour and the record's done and so on. So, yeah, I'll come down." And we clicked, in the first 5 minutes. So then it was like, well, we're obviously not going to replace him. We did the whole record and everything. So we made him an offer
that he couldn't refuse.
Right? I didn't say that. You did. And so as far as Ian and Billy were concerned, that was Matt's deal, really, to confront them with it. And then as time went by, running into Billy and Ian, Ian was great about it. I didn't really talk to Billy about it, but Ian was like, whatever, it's cool, So it was amicable.
Good, yeah. Good. Okay, we have, as I mentioned earlier, a whole bunch of phone calls, so we're just going to plow right through them. Jennifer is on the line. She's calling from Carlisle, Illinois today. Hey, Jennifer, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. What's your question?
Okay, I wanted to ask Flash if, since two of the band members of the original band are not in the band anymore, does it feel more like working with business partners instead of friends?
No, one of the most important things, I'm glad you asked that because that's a good question. One of the most important things for us in finding people to replace Steven and to replace Izzy was finding somebody that we could hang out with and feel like family still, because Guns N' Roses is one of those things that we're real tight, and we don't let any kind of outside people influence us, and we don't take on any kind of like what you call session players or anything like that. So it's got to be a really cool hangout situation, and it was sort of a godsend for Matt and Gilby because they fit in so quickly, and it was such a stressful period for Duff and Axl and I to have to deal with. So, for it to come down the way it did and for us to feel so comfortable and finish this record really said a lot about the whole organization as it was. And so, yeah, it's an important thing. And no, we don't take on any so-called business partners. Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. That was a good question. And we'll move over to Paul, who is waiting on the line in Sacramento, California. Hey, Paul, what's your question today?
Hey, Slash.
Hey.
I was asking how you got involved with Black Death Vodka, and did it stem from an interview in Rolling Stone about a year ago?
Well, it stemmed from the interview because I don't remember exactly when the first time I encountered it was, but they read the thing that I said in Rolling Stone about the only company that I would endorse. So I think they called the office or something, and they made sort of like an offer, and we got together and talked about it, and I was like, cool, 3 cases of vodka. I was like, yeah.
Cool.
So, contrary to what anybody else is saying about me trying to influence teenage America with it, it was just, the whole point was the vodka's great. And
well, what do you think about that? Do you think?
I knew it was going to come up, and I hadn't given it much thought because from where I come from, it's sort of like you make your own decisions. That's how I was brought up. So I didn't really feel like I was constricted by, how I was going to influence, the youth of America, or international or whatever. So I just did it, you know, and whatever happens after that, basically, I'm not going to take it that personally, you know. It's something I did. It's not for anybody else to judge me on it, you know.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Corpus Christi, Texas is where we go to now, where Isabel is waiting to talk to Slash. Hey, Isabel, what's your question?
Hi, Slash.
Hi.
I love Guns N' Roses.
Thanks.
Okay,
I'm
are
waiting for
y'all
someone-
going back out on tour soon?
Yeah, we're going back out. I think I don't know when the first date is, but it's like the 30th of the 30th of this month or the 1st of April, something like that.
With who?
I don't know.
Do you know
Actually,
the
at this
opening
point,
actress?
I don't know who we're going out with. It's just a small leg that we're doing. We're doing sort of what I would call makeup dates to like Detroit. We had to postpone, so we're going to do that in Chicago because of the Illinois incident. We're going to go back and make that up, and we're doing some shows in Mexico, and I think one in Oklahoma.
And you're
But I
going
don't
to...
know who's opening for us on that, to tell you
Might
the
be a
truth.
good time to start working that out. Put
No,
a
I'm
call in.
I'm sure we know, but it just hasn't been my main concern at this point because we've been doing so much stuff. And there's so many other things going on that hasn't been my main focus.
You're going to London to do the show at
We're
Wembley,
doing
the
the
Freddie Mercury?
Queen thing, and then we're
That's
doing,
kind of a controversial date, huh?
It turns out that way. I never would have thought that we were going to get that kind of flack. I was like,
Maybe I should just explain really quickly. You're doing a show in London, a tribute to Freddie Mercury for AIDS awareness.
Right.
And there are some
gay
group-
activist groups that are a little bit appalled, I think is a good word for it, coming from them, about us playing it, and I just wasn't expecting that kind of reaction.
Trying to get-
and we're going to play anyway, so.
They're trying to get other artists to either not play or to convince the audience to
trying
boo.
to
Have you heard this?
They're trying to get us off the bill or basically sabotage the gig. I don't know exactly what they want to do, you know, or what they're really shooting for, because it sounds so screwy in the first place. I don't think they really know what they want to do themselves, you know.
Well, it'll be interesting.
I know they'll go to press with it and keep it up all the way up until show day, but I don't want to get into the whole subject, but I mean, we're doing it for the reasons that we're doing it. It was, you know, for Freddie Mercury and not, I don't know how to explain it. We just wanted to play the gig, and we were asked to do it, you know, by the Queen people, and we've been supported by, you know, all the other bands that are playing, so we're going to play it, yeah. If that answers, you know, the question.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a
I know, it's
hotbed
just-
of activity
it's
in the
like-
Guns N'
it's-
Roses camp.
It's just screwy stuff to have to deal with. It's like every single day. It's like, oh yeah, right. Okay, we got to deal with this now. You know?
You guys are a magnet for that, it seems.
Well, yeah, but you know, we don't ask for it. You know, at least we don't purposely go out and ask for it. You know, it comes up and it's just like you're not expecting it.
So, wait, we were just talking about something interesting. I don't remember what it was.
talking
Oh,
about-
I know what I wanted to ask you about really quick. Spinal Tap.
Yeah,
You played on their record?
Yeah.
How was that?
it was great. It was after. Let's see, it was after a really bad rehearsal that we had one day, and I was like pissed off, and I was in a bad mood. So I knew I had the session that night, so I got in the car and just like cruised over to the studio. And for the mood I was in and the state of mind I was in, it was very Spinal Tap in itself. And walked
Have you
in
had
and-
experiences out on the road where you flashed that movie?
Spinal Tap. We played it. We watched it before a show one day, one night right before a gig, and I was just like watching it, going, because as our career has gone on, it's like all of a sudden become more and more significant, that movie, you know, because it's just really classic stuff that does happen. So I watched it before a show, and it just screwed up my whole night.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of musicians say, you know, that movie's not that funny.
Yeah, it's not.
It's a little too real.
It's funny, like if you're on a tour bus and you have 2 days off, you know, and you know, but if especially before a show, it's like you go out there and the first thing you do is like trip on a shoelace or something.
Right.
You know?
Well, they're going to be our guests next week, so we'll
No,
get the
they
dirt
were
on
great
you.
guys though.
Yeah.
And I just went in, plugged in, you know, did it in like one take, and then it's just, you know, nice meeting you and split. But they were really cool.
So we have one last segment of calls. So we have Nick on the line from Washington, D.C. Nick, pose your question.
How's it going, Slash?
Hey, Nick, what's
All
up?
right, my question is about Izzy and the songwriting. On the 2 latest albums, Izzy contributed quite a lot, and I was wondering how you plan to fill that void in the future when it comes to recording again. I mean, would you record with him again, or will someone else just move in and fill that space?
You know, I don't know what's going to happen with Izzy. That's a personal kind of a situation in a way, because of course that, you know, we've been together for a long time, and him and Axl have known each other for a long time. We went through a lot of stuff together, but he basically just wasn't interested in doing it anymore for whatever reasons, or basically unknown. I mean, you know, I have my ideas, and Axl has his ideas, and Duff as well. So it's like the songs that he wrote on this record, a lot of them, the band really had to work up to make them sound the way that they do. And maybe he didn't want them to sound that way. I'm not really sure. So as far as writing songs in the future, I just figure, you know, like the three of us are going to do what we're going to do. I don't know if we're going to keep working with Gilby or not, because we're just touring right now doing songs that have already been recorded. And as far as the relationship with Izzy goes, if it doesn't happen, obviously we're not going to like go, we can't write songs anymore, because obviously we've written a lot of songs without him.
Are you still in contact with him, just on a friend basis?
I don't think we're on a real good, you know, in a good way as far as the relationship goes, but it's a time will tell thing, you know.
Okay, we have Brian who's calling from upstate New York, Kingston to be specific. Brian, what is your question for Slash today?
Yeah, hey dude, what's up?
Hey.
I'd like to know, with all the things that are going on, how does that affect you and your playing?
With everything that's going on?
On tour, how does it affect your playing?
What are you thinking about,
saying,
Brian,
yeah.
specifically? For example?
Like personally, what goes through your mind when you're playing with other people? Like the new drummer and people who are replacing Izzy.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, it's been really refreshing just to get out there and be able to have a really solid band, because, I mean, I don't like to talk about the other guys as far as Steven and Gilby goes, because, I mean, not Gilby, Izzy, because it's a real personal kind of relationship, and it's real emotional. But there was a point there where our aspirations as a band, as far as I was concerned, as far as Axl and Duff were concerned, that I don't know where those guys were really coming from. So it started to be unenjoyable to play with them, you know. So it was real refreshing to get in and have people that were real eager to do it. So it's been a lot of fun thus far, you know.
Steven is a guy who you went to school with,
Yeah,
you
I've
know,
known
forever
Steven
and
the
ever.
longest,
Are
but-
you still in contact with him?
No, he's on my bad list.
Your bad list?
Admittedly so, you know.
I'll
I'll leave it at that.
Okay. That's too bad. Are you sad about that?
Well,
Just because he's somebody you've known for so
when the whole
long.
breakup thing happened, there was a whole, I'd say like 6 months to a year where that developed, and we hung in there with him, and now he's turned around and started attacking us, and there's a lot of falsities going on coming from his side of the camp, you know.
Okay, well, there's two reasons we don't have to get into this. One, because you probably don't want to, and two, because we're about to be pulled off
Yeah.
the satellite. So thank you very much. We'll look for you in the Michael Jackson video, amongst others.
Well, we got ours coming out, you know.
November Rain is coming up. I guess they're doing it at Carnegie Hall, the whole orchestra and everything. And that is it for this edition of Rockline on MTV. As you already know, next week, brace yourselves for Nigel Tufnell, David St. Hubbins, and Derek Smalls of Spinal Tap. We'll see you then.